Morning, guys. Morning, Kathy. Morning, Super Germ. Son, eat your cinnamon roll. Are you joining up, Nick? Oh, there it is. I see it. Oh, this is interesting. It gives you, they just updated this app and it gives you like this little interesting Q button at the bottom. When people want to join, pop in.
Morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Good. All right, there we go.
Yeah, we're dialed.
All right, here we are again, right?
What a week.
What a week. What an amazing week, you know?
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about. Where do you even want to get started?
Well, I mean, I think we should just start right from the top. I'm getting a little echo on your end.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it down. Hold on, I see what's going on.
Okay.
You're good now.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of things to talk about here. I think we start from the top, just the important note, right? The continual mind-blowing thing about like how much art is selling online. Like it's just unbelievable, right? And we're talking about this from, you know, if you guys have been following us for a little while or not, I'll just say it again that, you know, we're seeing Black Friday levels of sales every single week right now from the individual artist and photographer website. It's absolutely just mind-blowing, right? And it's through the context of the fact that, you know, we've been publishing all this data for the last almost 2 months now. Like it's basically since the beginning of April where, you know, it first became known that home decor and home DIY became a winner in this pandemic, right? Like all of those types of products. And I won't go into all the details. We've published all the data from different companies like Wayfair and, you know, and things like that. And I mean, is it not just mind-blowing how week after week after week, it just keeps continuing?
Yeah. I mean, can you even just say online, or is it just even just selling now? I mean, yesterday, we'll get into yesterday in a minute, but like, I don't even know how you frame the whole thing.
I don't even know either, because with that, like, think about how much more art is going to be sold online in the next like 6 months. Like based on this inside information that you and I have of the tactical, you know what I mean? That's working. Like, I mean, you and I are literally working on it. We're working on it ourselves. I mean, with artists and photographers on our platform, like we're getting our hands dirty in the tactical and the technique, right? But what we're talking about, you guys, is there's a new strategy, a new tactic that's going on, and we are spending an inordinate amount of time and resources building it out and testing it ourselves and being, you know, like getting our hands dirty, which is what we do here at Art Storefronts, right? Like we're entrepreneurs, this is what we do. So when there's something new, you know, a new marketing tactic, something that's important, you know, we start testing it. If it starts yielding benefits, we go even deeper. And this one, we're going all the way down because it's one of the most unbelievable things we've ever seen. And it's amazing. It's amazing for artists and photographers, right? It is game changing. This like we talked about this, like this tectonic shift that's happening in the art industry right now. And it 100%, like if the pandemic didn't happen, like this would not have happened. It would have just slowly gone along, but
it would have been business as usual. It would have been business
as usual, and it would have been this like slow drip over time, right? But the pandemic has had an effect on many, many different industries, and you know, you heard it here. Like this is an inflection point in the art industry. There's no question about it.
Yeah, Ben's on right now. Ben, did you see that show that we posted in the group yesterday? Leave me a comment. Let me know that you did. I mean, just insane tectonic shift. I mean, I think that's the best way to say it. Like nothing we've ever seen, and probably never will see again. And the writing's on the wall. I don't know who else is reading it, but boy, what an exciting time to be alive if you are an artist or a photographer, to just contemplate, you know, what you're going to completely be able to eliminate is just insanity.
It is.
And the gatekeepers are done.
The gatekeepers are done. Deborah, can you drop another comment in here? Because I believe Deborah was on our Zoom session, not yesterday, but the one on Wednesday for non-members. You know, It was for non-members. And she was, I believe she was the one who was like, I want to join. Like, I need to join. Do you have any ideas for me on how I can sell some art right now to get the startup cash to join, you know, to become a member at Art Storefronts? And so here she is, you know, and I think that's her. I think that's her. If it is, Deborah, please tell me. Yeah.
So weird. It's so weird. I didn't even see that comment in the thing, and yet you did, and you were able to grab it. Yeah,
that's weird. I mean, I think the same thing was happening yesterday. You would reference a comment and I didn't see it. So it was her. So look, Deborah said right here, if you can see it, that was me. Yeah. So do you remember I gave her some strategies on like how to try to do that. So I'm so happy for you, Deborah. That's so awesome. The fact that you've already sold $400, like you're already getting like great validation. Like, you know, you just got to get over that hump and you'll be moving forward. It's going to be great. I can't wait to have you on board. Yeah. So I'll say here, like, quick announcement, right while we're at the beginning, because we're getting to the end here, right? We have a big sale that is ending at the end of May. That's next Friday, and Monday is a holiday. So if you are interested in joining Art Storefronts, never been a better time. Make sure you put in a demo request. Is it on this post on Facebook? In the description?
Yes, it is in the description, actually.
Okay, yeah. So also in the description.
Hey, Ben, can we put a link in here? Absolutely not. We're not putting the link in here. I have, for the first time, and Nick is laughing because he's wanted to do this before I did, but I, for the first time, am not going to share our latest stuff. And I don't mean to be, I don't mean to say that to be a tease or to be, you know, arrogant or anything else. But there is the single solitary biggest arbitrage in the history of the art business about to go down. And honestly, I don't want to tell anyone to sign for more customers. I don't want to telling anyone. No. The smart people will follow some of you guys and see little snippets of it, but it is utterly, totally, and completely changing the entire game. I mean, Ben, you go and watch that. Ben, you go and watch that video that we did yesterday, that he did yesterday, and he's up to 5 pieces for $2,800 after just that one show yesterday. That's already there. And
this was just old stuff in his warehouse that's been sitting there for like, in his basement for like 5-10 years, right?
Yeah. And so we literally, like, you know, obviously, Ben, you saw, like, we've gone from like being, like, you know, executives at a company to straight up activists. Right? Like, you know, and I'll say this to Ben, like, so Matthew yesterday, I literally, Ben, I called him the day before and I was like, look, dude, we're doing this. I will do this, help do the sales for you. And Nick jumped into the room and we're sitting there live in real time, figuring out the trade craft and like adjusting things. And like Nick sending me comments, mention this, or like mentioning this. The point is that you and I have gone from like attempting to run a company to now getting involved in our customers' businesses and actively selling for them, which is just insane. It's an amazing.
We have to it's a principle we talk about internally. It's called dog food, right? Like eating your own dog food. And the reason that we're doing it is because you know, we've got to get our hands dirty. We have to understand exactly, you know, what the best strategies are. Multiple people, like I am on these things, right? I'm watching these things. I'm on them live. I am helping up front because look, I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. This is what I'm really good at. You know, it's same with you. Like, we are really, really good at this stuff. And so we can move so much faster by just getting somebody to do one who has a bunch of inventory and things like that. So anyways, it's really exciting. But, you know, on a like, here's the thing, like, the broader point that I've been making this week, right? And you have too, and I think this is so important for every photographer and artist listening, is that, look, I've been in the art industry for 20 years, right? Deep in this industry. I have never seen
anything like this.
I have never seen anything like this. The game has changed. It's settled science. This is not like, oh, it may change. It's done. Divide the line in the sand. America 2.0, the new normal, whatever, it has changed everything, right? And so if you are an artist or photographer and you are looking at the old and you're going, oh my goodness, I hope everything gets back to normal so quickly because I got to get back to these art shows, you know, in person. And I hope the galleries open up so I can work with some galleries. You literally have, I hate to say it, the worst strategy that you could possibly have going forward. I just need to be blunt. I just need to be blunt. And I have to say it because I've gone through the 9/11 recession in the art industry as an entrepreneur. I've gone through the 2008 recession in the art industry as an entrepreneur. Okay. And I've gone through enough of these to know that if you do not understand where the market is headed, and if you're not on offense, you're dead. You basically are like one of the people who just withers away, and you're like, you're the guy that's coming back to us and is like, I used to sell so well 10 years ago. I used to sell $100,000 a year 10 years ago. What are you doing now? Almost nothing, right? Or $10,000 a year. That's what happens. And it's like, and then you unpack it, and you know the story before they even tell it to you. Because it's like, you didn't adapt. You didn't do anything. You stuck with the old way. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You have to go where the market is headed, right? Like, what is that saying? It's like Wayne Gretzky, the famous hockey player, right? He said, you gotta skate to where the puck is going, right? That's what he's like, why are you so great? He said, I skate to where the puck is going, not where it is, right? And it's a perfect analogy, for the situation, like the way you have to think about it. But you got to be on offense during these things. If everything that I've learned, you got to be on offense. You got to forget the old, don't get emotional about it. Like, get sad for a couple of days, right? But close that door. Like, it's okay. Like, you're always a little bummed because you're scared, but you got to close that door and you got to go, where is the world going? And what you and I both know, and what is so clear, is that selling art online, is all the different ways that you can do it now, like doing your own art shows and different things like that, and all the trade craft involved, and all the traffic that this is going to be generating towards your website, and run it. Essentially, it's running your own international art gallery, your own, with your brand, right? Nick Friend Fine Art, you know what I mean? And you can do it globally, right? And you don't need galleries anymore.
So yesterday, on his one yesterday, he sold 2 pieces in Canada, 1 piece in the United States, and 1 in Germany.
Exactly, and on the spot. So what's going to happen is that artists, like, normally galleries want your best pieces, right? What they think are your best pieces or whatever, right? Normally photographers and artists will give a gallery that, because they're so dependent that they're like, I want to give them something that sells, that I think is my best work, because I want them to keep me and I want to make more money from this relationship, right? But you know what's going to happen now? Every great piece that a photographer artist has is going to sell, online through them before it even has a chance to be at the gallery. You wouldn't even want it to, because you'll be able to sell it online on the spot, and it won't even be that hard to do. Like, we should
formalize it and say it more appropriately like this. We believe what has transpired in terms of selling art and photography online since this pandemic hit represent the single solitary biggest shift in the art and photography markets in the last 25 years.
Yes, exactly. Maybe 100 years, maybe 1,000 years.
As such, we are we have certain credibility in this industry, right? Like, we have certain credibility, especially when it comes to digital marketing tactics and how far ahead of time, how we are, there's the pioneers and the settlers, right? The pioneers take arrows in the back. The settlers end up settling the land. We're usually 50 yards in front of the pioneers. We're the scout that told where the pioneers where they are. And I'm telling you, Nick and I are both telling you right now, this video will live on in perpetuity. It'll stay on our channel. We can go back and reference it to the first time that we have it. What we have currently discovered in terms of how to sell photography and art online will forever change the art and photography industry. Not even close. And it is the single solitary biggest windfall to artists and photographers I've ever seen. That is a series of strategies and tactics in which you can utterly, totally, and completely obliterate every gatekeeper. And it just essentially shifts the entire balance of power back to you. You don't have to leave your house to accomplish any of it. It's insanity. It is insanity, right? Like, so,
exactly.
So we'll go back and we'll reference this later. Like, when did you finally call it? When did you do it? This technique, and so what are we doing as a result of it? We are marshaling 100% of our forces. We are going to run as many of them with our customers as we can. We're going to teach 100% of our customers. We're going to have our customers come back into the group sessions and tell us what's working, and we're going to continue to iterate on it. The number of tweaks to our software to accommodate these new selling techniques will probably be legion and weekly. It is insanity. Yesterday was insanity. There's mind-boggling insanity that you can do that whenever you want to the whole world. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, so like retail and e-commerce, as we know, has been like a big winner during the pandemic. Right. And this is selling online as a part of it. Right. But, and I've said like when the internet wins, it's the artists win. The artists and the photographers win, creators win. You could say that for anything. You could say musicians win, you could say writers win, right? But when the internet wins, the more e-commerce, the more retail business that is done via e-commerce, the more it is better for artists and photographers because it shifts power away from traditional gatekeepers and gives the creators more. That's what you guys, you guys should be throwing confetti in the air. Like this is so serious. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable and it's so exciting, And so back to where we were back to what we were talking about skating to where the puck is, right? What Wayne Gretzky said. And so knowing this, right? The smartest thing you can do, in fact, not even the smartest, it's like the only thing you should be doing is looking at this and going, okay, how am I going to be successful in this new world? In this America 2.0, given everything that we're talking about right now. And it is building your skill set, right? Acquiring the skills and building your skill set to market online and market your international art gallery, right? And running that business and, learning how to do all of that and building the relationships with the customers and becoming really savvy at doing the marketing. And it's so important to say that because photographers and artists who might have traditionally sold in galleries or just sold at art shows, you don't have the skill set. Even if you sold $100,000 a year doing that, you don't have the skill set yet to do that online, right? And this is one of the biggest learning experiences that, people who have been successful with offline methods in the past have to learn. Right? It's such an important thing because they think that they just go online and it's like, I'm going to have the same feedback and results that I did in my galleries offline. And that's not going to happen. Right. And they say, why? They say, Nick, why? And I say, because let me tell you this, look at all of the members who are selling hundreds of thousands of dollars on our platform. You can see them in our workshops. They're in there. They're asking questions. Sometimes we have them on, providing mentorship. Look at what they're doing. Subscribe to their email list, follow them on Facebook and Twitter. You are not doing anything that they are doing, right? Like their mental mindset, their psychology, their knowledge that they have gained over the years to get to that level, you're not there yet. And until you get there, you won't be selling $100,000. It's just a fact, So if you unpack that and you learn that today and you realize that today, you go in and you go, okay, this is a marathon. For the next 10, 20 years, I'm going to be able to run my own art gallery on the internet. I don't need these gatekeepers. I don't need third parties. What am I going to do? What's the smartest thing I should do? Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself to learn these things so that you can run a great business in the new normal. Period. That's it. That is all it is. And so our members like Debbie right here, Ben, that we're having on here, like, that, Ben is on, I gave Ben a compliment yesterday in the private members workshop, right? Or whatever it was, maybe it was on the live, because Ben is always there. And whether he's asking questions or not, he's always listening. And he has been since the beginning. He's investing in himself and he's shipping these things and he's learning. When I look at Ben and I go, where's Ben going to be in 3 years, Pat?
Yeah.
Where's he going to be in 3 years? I know he's going to be great. As long as, based on the habits that I have seen from Ben right now, I know that Ben is going to be on a great path if he continues that, because this is what you got to do. You got to keep continuing to learn and invest in yourself, improve your skills, and you can build to the next level.
Yeah. And Ben, we talked about wanting to run one of the shows with you too, but your work might get us in a little bit of hot water. So we had that discussion yesterday about what to do, but like, look, the early adopters and the ones that see this, like, You and I are going out, we're doing the pioneer work, we're taking the freaking arrows in the back so that our customers can be the settlers and settle the land, right? But it's moving so fast. This stuff is moving so fast. I mean, we have, based on what we did yesterday and the learnings that we got in that, you and I have months of running these things to figure out.
Oh, months.
There's the technology piece, there's the technology piece, and then there is the salesmanship piece. And the sales, some artists have it, most don't. And my goodness, like there's so much in there to unpack and like sort out. Like, yeah, whatever, the digital tech, like how you follow up, the email sequence, how you take the orders, all that is well and good. But this, like, at the end of the day, the selling is just still such a critical part, right?
It is because now you actually, like, how amazing is it? Like just the fact that we're even talking about that, because it was never even a possibility. It was never, you couldn't just you're on a gallery floor being able to like showcase and sell your own work. Like, I mean, like that is just profound in and of itself, you know, just incredible. Yeah. And the trade craft with this is going to be unbelievable, because there's the build up to the event. There's the after, like email sequencing in the marketing, right, to get the most after it. And obviously there's incredible trade craft during the actual event, you know? So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. It's a blast.
So it makes me laugh. Like, we run these lives all the time, and whether it's, you know, customers who haven't been marketing a long time, or whether it's the non-customers, or whether whoever's on our lives, we're always asking the questions like, what's the best time to post? Which platforms are best? What should my copy be? You know, should I have a guest or should I not have a guest? What platform, you know, what software? You don't know. I don't know either. No one can tell you. The only way to find out is how many times you practice. And so it's like, everybody wonders why you and I do this 7 days a week, because we don't have it all figured out. But guess what? We're getting the data. We're shipping these things all the time, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. And each time I am figuring out what the best time to post is, right? I am figuring out what software is the best. I am figuring out what cell phone is best to use or not to use, and what the email copy should be, and what the one thing is. There is no one thing. So to take it forward another level, this new format of having these shows and selling online, we don't know what we don't know. So what are we going to do? We are going to run hundreds of them.
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
We are going to run hundreds of them. We are going to understand the marketing piece. We are going to understand the tech piece. We're going to understand the sales piece. We're going to understand the delivery piece. Try to start working and wrenching on the psychology of how that all goes down, how to create the FOMO, how to create some scarcity, what the best technological platform is. And my guess is, if you know, and I'll plant my flag in this one too, we will likely create one of the first, certainly in our industry, art and selling show pieces of software that exist. And it'll probably be one of the biggest value adds we've ever added. Mark my words. My bet is that we will slowly iterate to it might even be a completely separate software product, because if we believe that this is the biggest shift in 25 years, which I am, it's done.
It's done. It's done.
We will likely have to iterate on the best system. And when you think about it, every single solitary art gallery in the entire world is going to want that software. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the only way they're going to survive. It's the only way they're going to survive.
They're not going to survive. They're not going to survive. Very few.
Yes.
Very few. Let me explain why. Because now that artists can do this on their own, right? Legitimately. Okay. It means that more of the consumers are going to be buying the art in advance. They won't need to go to a gallery, right? There's going to be, think about this, there's going to be less retail demand than there ever has been. In addition to that, the best content is going to be coming right from the artist. Think about that. You have to think about these downstream effects that are going to happen from this. Like, if you're Matthew Laka, right, and who's one of our members, and you come out with a brand new piece that is amazing, and you've got a direct relationship with your collectors and all that stuff, you're gonna give that to a gallery? No way, no way. You're gonna be doing the proper romance marketing that we coach our customers on, and then you're gonna release that thing, and you'll probably do your own show and do it. You might have 3 of them, right? And they're gonna be gone. They're gonna be gone, Pat. You know it, right? We've already seen it.
And when the only ones that are gonna survive are the ones that still have the relationships with buyers, right? Which is not a whole lot of them, right? And that power is going to go down. Or maybe if you have like an especially advantageous foot trafficy, touristy, trafficy kind of location, right? That where like no matter what, you just got the spot. The rest
you're
of
going
them,
to struggle.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
It's gonna have major downstream effects because the best artists and photographers, are going to be able to sell their best pieces on their own. And why are you gonna go? Because you have to remember, when you give a piece to a gallery, they take it on consignment. They don't even buy it from you, right? They take it on consignment. That's how the industry works. And then they take half or more of the sale, and then they keep the customer, right? And so when if you have the opportunity to sell that thing direct and you legitimately can, you're going to sit there and go, why would I wait for like 6 months for the gallery to sell this painting? That's what normally happens, Pat. The art, you don't just put the art there and then it's like, sometimes it never sells and then they give it back to you, right? They give it back to you. You got to take it back, right? So are you going to take your best pieces? Is anyone going to take their best pieces and do that? No, I'll tell you who will. The guy who will not build his business online and go direct and is just going to live in the old world. That's who the galleries are going to have to deal with, right? Like that's what's going to happen. But there are going to be so many quality, photographers and artists who are going to be able to do it on their own. And you have to think about what are the unintended consequences of that, right? I think that there's going to be less foot traffic than ever. Because if I'm sitting here and I'm like, I need a piece of art, maybe I would go to a gallery show, maybe I would go to look at some galleries, and then Matthew Locke does a show, and I love a piece, and he's doing something really special with it and the whole thing, and he gets me, and I buy it, I'm done. I'm not going to a show. And think about when so many more people are doing these things as a result of what we're doing with our playbook and all this stuff, right? Like, how much of that demand and foot traffic is going to get sucked out of the market, And so then you look at this industry and I go, the galleries were already on death's doorstep. They can't take another blow. I mean, before the pandemic, then there's the pandemic, then there's all of this. Like, that's a huge blow. That is a huge blow. You're going to have worse content. You're not going to have as good a content. The artists are going to be like, I'm going to give you this. I'll give you this thing, but you got 30 days. You got 30 days, right? I mean, it's going to be so interesting. So, again,
contrast the 50%. And let's just say like you have a really good deal worked out and you have like a 35% split or a 30% split, right? Or 60-40, whatever. Take even 10% of that. And after we teach them to invest that into ads for their own show, where they keep the whole pot and they keep the customer, versus the gallery. The gallery, literally the only thing the gallery is going to be able to do for you is if they have high net worth individuals that just buy whatever these guys take. But let me tell you, like, Nick and I grew up in the same place. I still live there. It's in Southern California. It's a place called Newport Beach. One city south, it's called Laguna Beach. Known art hotspot. There are probably 75 galleries in that town. That is going to go down.
Easy.
That is going to go down to like 6 or like 10. They're just not going to. Look, we're way ahead of the curve on this thing. We're planting our flag on this thing. The rest of these, number one, the pandemic's killing most of them. So that's just reality. They're not coming back.
Yeah.
Once the rest of the industry catches up to where we are on this new format of selling, the rest of them are all going to just.
There's like a perfect storm happening because
I'm worried for that. I'm worried.
Yeah,
there's going to be a
other businesses. Yeah, other retail companies are just going to have to pick up those spaces, right? But like, there's going to be a perfect storm happening here just with the retail galleries, because when they reopen back up and they try to survive, do you know what they're going to do? They're going to be going back to the artist going, I got to take 70%. I have to. I haven't had any revenue. We have 25% of the foot traffic that we ever did. I'm sorry, I got rent, I got expenses, I've got overhead. I got to charge more. And then so it's the perfect storm, because then the artist is going to go, wait a minute, I don't even need you. I don't want that deal, right? Like, it's so funny.
It's so funny what we've got to do. We've got to find out the top salesmen from all our galleries in the United States and start finding the ones that are about to be unemployed and get them as a consultant to just run sales for our customers on these things. Now that would be a good idea. But when you think about like staying in your house.
I know a couple.
Running your own show. Keeping,
I actually know a couple.
Keeping 100% of your revenue, right? Keeping 100% of your revenue. Creating the works. Figuring out who's going to ship them to the spot. Getting it all hung. Having your big event. Promoting the hell out of your event. Leaving all the works there. 50% split versus let's go. Let's run it right now. I don't care about hair. I don't care about makeup. I can do it. Boom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, by the way, to get all that stuff into the gallery and to go through all that and to do all of that, by the time that's all done and set up, you could have run 50 of them on your own with no expense other than internet connection.
No geographic limitations.
No split for anybody. You can practice. I mean, it is the most profound thing we've ever seen. And ever since COVID started, there's been nothing but profundities, it seems like. But this one, everything else pales in comparison. And oh, by the way, worldwide. Prestige worldwide.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, you know what this all means, and I was kind of talking about it earlier, but it's like, because you are so empowered now, it is more valuable for you, more important than ever. I hate to use the word important because it's just like, it's so obvious that investing in your own skill set to run your own business is like through the roof. Like the importance of that is through the roof, right? Because you don't need these gatekeepers anymore. And it's a fact, it's settled science. When we say it's settled science, I want you guys to understand what Pat and I are talking about, because we're obviously like way ahead of the curve on this and it's early. But when we say it's settled science, like we are talking, with 20 years experience in entrepreneurship, running companies, testing ideas, failing ideas, tons of failing ideas, understanding what it means to validate an idea or an experiment to make sure that it's the real deal before you go all in, right? And so when we're talking about the validation on this specific tactic, we are talking about the fact that we have been running them ourselves with customers. We've seen other ones done with our customers, and real sales are happening. Not likes, shares, comments, real sales, thousands and thousands of dollars of sales on the spot, which is just like
zero preparation, zero
preparation, zero ads, zero marketing expense. Like, yes, of course, like you're, and that's an important point on this too. Like you're leveraging the following that you have and all of that stuff. So like the marketing importance holds true, right? Like that never ends. Like unless you are constantly building leads, getting more eyeballs on your work, on your brand, on everything, like building traffic constantly, then these tactics, don't mean anything, right? Because you got nobody to close, you got nobody to buy from you. So you have to constantly be filling the funnel with leads.
We're literally going to have to teach this thing on Tuesday. I just saw Betty was on. Betty, you need to go into the group and look at the post that we did yesterday. Insane. You need to be doing that immediately. You should do that this weekend. What's so funny too is like everybody loves talking about the latest, greatest marketing technique. We have gone so over the line on Ship It that you and I are literally like elbowing each other and throwing each other over down the hallway, trying to get to the door to ship it quicker, right? Like yesterday it was, dude, go and get 15 pieces, give me the names of the 15 pieces. We're going to run this show. We're going to sell them. And I want it ready in an hour. He's like, okay, I'll go. Goes, runs, gets it all done. Sets the thing up. He goes, how are we going to do it? I was like, I don't care how we're going to do it. Let's go. You and I jumped in the room, 5 pieces, $2,800 later, just from executing. And it's like, you could have talked about that and said like, I've got to get prepped up and I got to do this or I got to do that. Yeah. Betty, the whole thing is in the group, okay, from start to finish. We're not sharing it with anyone. Nick and I are laughing because I'm like now going to be the biggest tease in the history of my career, right? Like I built my career on giving away the farm, right? Like much to Nick's regret. Like I give every latest, greatest marketing tactic. I put it on the podcast. We put it out on the blog. We say, hey, go and have it. And why? Because fundamentally underpinning that is is the knowledge that 99% of the people will never do it, right? They'll just go, oh, this is great, and I'll never do anything about it. Maybe some people will pick up some things here or there. This new one, Betty, Ben, this new one, we are embargoing this. we are putting this inside behind the city walls and nowhere else, because it is an arbitrage that is only going to last a certain period of time. Nick and I, in our entire lives, our entire careers, have seen this play out 55 different times. Something comes out, the amount of juice that this thing will give you early on, it'll never be higher than it is early on, right? And then slowly over time, arbitrage goes away. Now, don't misunderstand. It might be 10 years until everyone else has it figured out, right? Like, but we know that the juice that is available on this early on is the most extreme. So we're not teaching anybody else. I am embargoing it, all of it. No, Ben, we'll start teaching it. Ben's asking if it's on the calendar. We just figured it out. We are figuring it out. No one's got it figured out. It's a great scheme of things.
You know why that, like, for our members, like what you said is that's now more important than ever, because everybody is going to be trying to build a digital business, right? Like the artists and the photographers, everybody's going to be looking to do that. And so, it's more important than ever that our members have an arbitrage with the state-of-the-art tactics and strategies, right? And so that's like what's underscoring everything that you're talking about. But just to take it one step further, just to tease it, add another tease. So just this morning.
And by the way, Deborah's like, really tease ARG? We've never been teasers. That is not, like, you go back in the history of this company for 7 years now marketing. Like, we've never been teases on anything. We've given away the farm. But this one, I'm not giving it out. Nick's not giving it out. We're embargoing it. We're putting gag orders. We're going to do NDAs. We're doing NDAs in the group. Not
So we have. So what's interesting too. You don't even know this yet. Or maybe you saw it. In the group, in the private members group, there was a post this morning from one of our members about another tactic, right? Which we're not talking about either. This was the first tactic that we released that we wanted every member doing right when the pandemic hit. So this is like 2 months old, right? We got a whole playbook for it, step by step, all the way through. And one of the members, Denise, she's done it. She's done it twice with 2 different, call it distribution channels. We'll use that phrase, right? And she just posted today. She's like, I just did it yesterday, and I already got 100 emails, like within 24 hours, 100 new email leads, and like the whole process is going on. So she's sure to probably get a couple of sales out of it in the next couple of days. But the fact is that she's now got a new distribution channel that's generating leads for her with that tactic, And so we're going to, I already told the workshop team, I want to have her on the private members workshop on Tuesday to talk about, what she did, because she did a great job. She had a little strategy in there that was really cool.
I'm really digging the, go get a win and then come back and then tell the rest of us in the group. I feel like that's such an energy up activity, Like
it is.
Like Courtney last week, she emailed me that, and then I knew I had to call her out because it's contagious. Enthusiasm.
Well, I think
it's contagious. It's osmosis. It moves from an area of higher concentration to lower concentration. So if you're sitting there on the sidelines and you're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have the time or the chops, or I'm not as good looking as that person, or I suck on video. And then someone just drops it, right? That's like, I've never done this. And these were the results that I got. It's exactly what I was saying earlier. Like, you are only limited. Your success is only limited by how bold and how quickly you're willing to move and shift things and learn.
Exactly. It's the volume of shipments. It's the volume of shipments over time. I mean, I could even attribute my entire career to that. Like, working an insane amount of hours, weekends, everything, right? Like, we're doing it right now. We're doing it right now. Exactly. And learning how to ship really fast, right? Boom, 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 boom. Like, just constantly running experiments, testing, moving things forward. If you add up all of those, like, there's a pile like a mile high, right? And what happens is, as you have very eloquently explained to our members, is that there is a residue of success that happens as a result of just shipping, right? Like you want to know how you get luck? You want to know how luck finds you? By shipping just a ton, right? Because there's no such thing as luck. It's just you're giving yourself the opportunity, right? Like, you're giving yourself way more opportunities to have luck happen to you when you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? When you're doing a whole bunch of different marketing tactics and techniques and things like that. And eventually you're going to land on something, right? So by shipping a ton, you're going to put yourself in a way better position.
Yeah. Have you heard Naval do his little rant on luck, the types of luck?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I mean, I think he goes through it. He's like, there's multiple different types of luck, right? There's like true dumb luck, right? Like you won the lottery, right? Like, the odds of that are so small, never could happen, never can design your life for it. And then there's the type of luck that just comes from hard work, right? That just hard work and execution and shipping. There's the type of luck that comes from hard work, execution, and shipping, but also being in the right place at the right time because you've got that level of education and experience, like that this is going to be a good area, right? So you get the luck from that. And then there's the luck when you're so good at what you do, the great opportunities come to you, right?
Yeah.
And he uses the example of like, this guy's like the best deep sea diver, ocean wreck diver in the world, right? He's like, that's what he's really good at. And so there was some new huge find of a galleon and it came to him, right? Because they're like, there's no one better diver than you, so we need you. So that guy, just by virtue of being the best diver ever, the luck actually comes to him. And I love those different types of luck. But I think what we're seeing is there's the right place, right time that doesn't come from luck. It comes from understanding the trends, seeing the writing on the wall, which we have. And then there's the luck that comes from execution. If you marry those two, that's luck. That's the kind of luck that we're looking for, right? Because you created it. You knew where you were supposed to be. And that's the biggest benefit our customers have, because we're telling them like, they're figuring that out on their own too. But like, I just tell you, this is exactly where you need to be. And then you just bring in the executing and shipping. It's not that difficult from there. Yeah. Yeah.
Betty, you're asking about the masks. We're already working on that. Because we're working with Gooten, Gooten. They are like a merchandise company that does literally everything, right? So we've been, going through the whole process of negotiating and how the whole relationship is going to work to integrate them with our API to get access to all of those products, step by step for all of our members. So we're talking about like t-shirts, mugs, scarves, masks. What are the other things? I mean, you name it. They've got like 1,000 products in their catalog. So we have to add them individually, but we're already working on it. We should have that stuff done before the fourth quarter. There's going to be a lot of that stuff added over the next 4 months.
I hate that we're even talking about the damn masks.
I know, but we have to.
She's right. They're going to be around, and all it's going to happen. I'm the eternal optimist. I think this thing's a bad flu. I think it's going away. I'm so sick of talking about it. I'm sick of wearing a mask. I think the mask does more harm than good. But the reality is, all it's going to take is for one new flare up, and everybody's going to be back into masks again, right?
Yeah.
Like when we get to like winter and like one little outbreak happens somewhere, like it's just going to be ridiculous. But anyway, understood. I don't have to like everything,
Yeah. All right. So. What's our schedule here? Okay, so the first things first is we are running a huge sale right now for anyone who wants to join our storefronts. It's ending at the end of the month, right? But on the end of the last business day of the month is next Friday. So if you are interested in joining, then you request a demo ASAP. If you're on Facebook, it's in the link in this post, in the description of this post. And if you're on Instagram, there's a link in the bio. Request a demo. Fill that out real quick. You'll get in the queue. Spots are filling up fast. The calendar's already pretty tight. So get in if you want to capture that discount. And then what's our schedule going to be next week? Because I mean, it's a holiday on Monday, right? So we normally would have a Zoom session with non-members so that they could ask us questions, right? We've been doing those and they're really, really fun. We would normally do them on Monday and Wednesday, but it's kind of a weird month. So maybe we'll probably do it on Wednesday, but not Monday.
Maybe Tuesday. I don't know.
Maybe we could. We've got our members workshop. That would be a marathon day. But we could do it.
If it gets too hot out here in the desert, I'm going home on Monday. We could potentially do one on Monday. I don't know. Look, do we ever know? No. We do.
No, we never know. But you may see us and you may get an email. So get on our email list and follow us. Yeah, follow us on Facebook because you'll get the notification whenever we're live. So we're trying to be as accessible as possible before the end of the month. But if you have any, by the way, if you have any questions, drop a comment. We will be live pretty much all weekend and through the early of the week. Yeah. If you've got a question that you need us to answer, even if we're not on a Zoom call, you can always just drop it in the comments here. And and we'll answer it.
I got to go to the vegetable market and procure my my weekend's provisions. I got the best vegetable market out here. It's absolutely insane. It's like one of those little stands that's on the corner of like a dirt farm. And the guys are literally out there in the fields, like ripping the stuff out of the ground, and they just drop the boxes. It's like, honestly, it's Shangri-La. I'm convinced. I'm not just convinced. I know the minute you tear the vegetable out of the ground, the nutrient count starts going down a little bit. So when you get them fresh, like, oh, so good.
Yeah, it's really something else.
Yeah, I mean, you have that all over.
Hey.
Austin. It's getting harder and harder to do that in California, but out in the desert, it's next level.
Something else I was going to mention to you. Obviously we're shipping all day, so if I had to say how many new features, like whether that's in the form of like a software update, like a website software update, a backend update, a improvement to playbooks, a new feature with fulfillment. I'm trying to think. There's probably 5 a week, like 5 new features that are enhancements to the membership a week, yeah. Right? Just this week, we added labels, your own branded labels that are on the outsides of the boxes for automated fulfillment, right? So your packaging just looks professional, and you don't even have to do anything. You upload your logo in a specific size, and you have this beautiful label on there, right? No extra cost for any of the members, right? They get that. But let me tell you this. So because you were asking about this came up in the workshops like 2 weeks ago from a couple members. But just this morning in the group, we posted it. There's a member, Ted Morrison, who's really skilled at capturing artwork. Yeah, Ted Morrison. Yeah.
Has he been in the sessions? I haven't seen a Ted Morrison.
No, he's been in the set. I think he hasn't been verbally like on video in the sessions, but he's in the group, right? And there's a big discussion going on about the best way to capture artwork. What's the best lighting to use if you want to buy some lighting? How do you best do it with an iPhone? Yes, an iPhone, right? If you want to just use a phone camera, what's the best way to do it and get good results? And then if you want to go a step up from that, what's a really affordable camera you can buy refurbished, And so Ted, is an expert on all of that. And so I had him, do an entire tutorial on it, start to finish, right? Soup to nuts on exactly what to do for all of that.
You got to put that thing to bed.
So it's in a PDF right now, and it's in the group. We're going to post it in our support center, but we're getting feedback from some of the other experts that we have to just see, if we want to tighten it up a little bit. But it's awesome. It's so great for new members who are coming on board that are painters, for example, who need to shoot their artwork and they're looking for an affordable way to do it without having to pay a fine art printing company or somebody to do it. You can legitimately do it on your own with this advice. And that's phenomenal. So what does that mean? That means if you've got some paintings sitting around, you can literally do this and get your art up and launch your business, and you're ready to go. Nothing holding you back. No excuses to hold you back. You're ready to go.
All right, Box, we got to leave it there. I'm getting the eyes.
Okay. All right. Good to see you guys. Enjoy the weekend. And until next time, we'll be back on.
You too. Yep.
All right. Take care. Bye.